time. Okay, this is picking up the last piece of the polynomials. We were supposed to do some that are backwards. So I'm telling you that these are the solutions to a polynomial, and I want you to find me the original equation those came from. So you have to turn them back into the factors. Yes. So I brought that over. Now, where is Michael getting a 5x?
You have to multiply by the 5 over.
Yeah, he's moving the 5 back over here, so you'd have 5x equals negative 3, which then came from the factor 5x plus 3. What do you do once you get back to those factors? Yeah. Then you put those factors back together, and you FOIL it. Okay, we'll get there. Just so you just multiply it back together then. So we get 5x squared plus 3x minus 10x minus 6. Or you need to simplify it. And since I asked for an equation, be sure you put an equal 0 on it. It's not an equation without an equal sign.
Yeah. How many points are you going to miss for that every time you do that off?
Half a point.
Oh, okay.
So it's not.
Deal. Hey, Devin's taking notes. I'd just like you to know that.
That's good. Okay, suppose this time I told you your roots were 3 plus the square root of 2 and 3 minus the square root of 2. Tim, there ain't going to be one. Okay, if those were my two roots, you're going to do the same thing, and I need to show you the shortcut to this. You're going to treat them like and turn them back into a factor, which means I have to get them back to where they equal 0. So if I move them all to the left-hand side, I'm just getting them all equal to 0 again. But you will notice they're awfully similar.
They're the same thing.
There's one slight sign change. And on something like this, it'll always be that way. These answers came out of the quadratic formula. So when you go to multiply it back together, you're thinking, oh no, I have to multiply 3 terms times 3 terms. There's a shortcut. Okay, what part of it is exactly the same? Aren't they both x minus 3 up front? Okay, so treat that, the x minus 3's, treat them as one term.
X minus 3 squared plus or minus 2.
Okay, now, aren't these conjugates now?
Yes.
I have one with a minus square root of 2 and one with a plus square root of 2. So when you FOIL conjugates, what do you have to FOIL?
The first and the last.
The middle terms will always cancel, so you only need to do first and last here. So first means take x minus 3 times x minus 3. What's the conjugate? 2 plus the square root of 3, 2 minus the square root of 3. The same thing with... Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, those are conjugates. So x minus 3 times x minus 3, would you agree, doesn't that make x minus 3 squared? We're going to FOIL it out in a minute, but... Okay, so that's first. All you need to then multiply is last. So that'd be a negative square root of 4 when you take square root of 2 times itself. Okay. So now, isn't that really just 2? All you have to do is FOIL this. What do you get when you take x minus 3 times x minus 3? Plus 9.
Why don't you just go x times x minus 3?
You could if you can do all that in one step. I just don't want to confuse people. Equals 0. There's your equation. It came out very sweet, yeah. No, not when you realize you can shortcut and multiply it like that with conjugates. It's easy. But if you actually multiply all three terms times all three terms, you get a big mess. You can do it, but so if you realize you can use conjugates on it, it's pretty slick. Okay. That's the first, where the first line of your assignment sheet is, that's the first line.
The one you're supposed to save for later.
Yeah, the one I originally told you to save for later, I moved it down onto today's assignment. On the thing I gave you the other day, I did save for later, I actually moved them down here, they're down here now. Okay, second part of this, the rest of this is rational equations. Does anybody remember what a rational equation is? Oops, I lost my eye. Okay, you see the word rational, you should think fractions. Okay, we're talking fraction action here.
Hey, the exclamation point means something too.
Okay, do you want the messy part first, or the part you know first?
The part we know, no, the part we know first.
Devin likes to get messy first.
No, the part we know.
When is your brain going to process it the best? Okay. The part you know first. We have solved these before. This is equations that have fractions in them. Don't squeak. Okay. So I want you to solve for x. That's what you're supposed to do. Okay, so if you're going to solve for x, first of all, do y'all remember something called excluded values? Okay, excluded values are values that make the denominator equal 0. So, what numbers can you not have in this problem because they make you divide by 0?
Negative a half.
And negative a half and negative 1. Those two, they make the denominator equal 0, so they can't be answers. If we get done and they come out to be solutions, we have to throw them out. You cannot have those as solutions. Okay, you're solving so you get rid of the fractions by multiplying by the common denominator. So you got to figure out what's the common denominator, and you're going to multiply by it. Okay. But to take it times, if you take it times 2, you'll get 2x plus 2. So these are actually all three separate. So you have to have all of them. You have to have 2, you have to have 2x plus 1, and you have to have x plus 1. Those are all three are the common denominator in this case.
Wow, that is...
Okay, now, waste one line of paper. It's not a waste. Save yourself confusing yourself. Go through and simply write down, if I take all three of those times the first fraction, what's going to cancel? The 2x plus 1 is going to cancel. What's going to be left? The 2 and the x plus 1 are going to be left. Okay, and yet you can go ahead and simplify it later. Okay, then you're going to come over here and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to take all three of them times the second fraction. What's going to cancel?
2 times 2x plus 1.
X plus 1s will cancel, so you'll be left with 2 and 2x plus 1. Then do it again. What happens when I take all that times the third fraction?
3 times
2x plus 1.
So the 2 cancels, but you got lots left.
3 times x plus 1 is 2x.
Yeah. We have quite a few terms left. You got all three of those left. Okay, now, no fractions. From here on out, it's algebra. So it's normal solving. We need to distribute. We need to get our like terms added together. So that's going to be 2x plus 2 plus 4x plus 2. How do you do this side? FOIL first, then take it times 3 is easier. So if you FOIL it first, that's going to be squared. Okay, which then I have to take it all times 3. Yeah, I can combine those. Don't those make 3x? So then if I distribute 3, I'll have 6x squared plus 9x plus 3. Okay. Now, since you see it's got a square in it, you know you're going to have to get it equal to 0 to solve it. So which side do you want? Let's actually, if I combine this, that's really 6x plus 4. And then move it all over on one side. So I would be subtracting 6x and subtracting 4. I got to get it equal to 0. So that would be 6x squared plus 3x minus 1. Have you solved it?
No, we didn't factor it.
You have to solve it yet. And you're looking at going, oh dear, hold it. Did I mess?
It looks great.
Oh, please don't tell me. Oh, no, I did. Okay, okay. That's supposed to be 2x minus 1. I miscopied the problem. Okay. Okay, so this would have come out, it would have factored and solved. Or I can fix it real fast.
Yeah, fix it.
That should have been minus 1. So this should have been minus 1. And this should have been minus 1. Yeah, sorry, my fault. I copied it wrong. So, okay. It should have come down to be 6x squared minus 3x minus 3. Sorry. Okay, so it's the same exact process.
It's too off.
I'm a little bit off. This one will factor. The other one won't. Because this one you could pull out a 3, and it actually comes down pretty nice. Caleb, that is inappropriate.
No, it's only if you take it that way, Miss Meyer.
And your Snickers aren't taking it that way?
No, we're laughing at because you messed up on the equation.
Okay. So I would have to have a negative 2x and a positive 1. And I would get then x equals negative 1/2 and x equals 1. Am I done?
No, you gotta go up there, and since negative half is up there, you gotta cross it out.
Oh, but now it would be positive half. Sorry, because I copied the problem one.
That's another.
So actually these answers do work, but you do need to check because we were really close to having to throw one off. Most of the time they work. I have to work pretty hard to get one where absolute value comes up as an answer.
And we're done.
So, I'm only halfway. I'm not sure I'm going to make it all the way.
You ain't gonna make that.
Which is going to make next time not good.
Miss Meyer, why don't you just record it? We can watch it online.
Oh, you're
That's a terrible idea.
Oh, good. Okay, good. Place to stop.